Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. Today, we have some news on the Ripple v SEC lawsuit, some questions being answered, and just some daily Bitcoin and general crypto news. So stick around and enjoy. First of all, let's quickly answer a question that a couple of people have asked in the comment section by also asking a new question. So, if the scheduled deposition of Hinman is June 30th, doesn't it mean the judge needs to make a decision pretty soon? What this person is referring to, for all of you guys that do not know, is within the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit, there's right now going to be a deposition. What that again means is basically they want to get, Ripple's side, a person, a former SEC official, on a chair to answer some questions. Again, it's actually written down here too. And if you check it out, if you read it in front of you, you can see the date and time are the 30th of June, 9 a.m. Now, if there were to be no opposition, this would be the date that everything pulls through, which basically would be tomorrow. If I'm correct, it is the 29th right now. Yes, tomorrow. But I believe now, since the SEC gave a response, and that's actually what this letter itself is, a motion to quash, maybe, it just doesn't pull through until the judge gives a decision, or if Ripple responds or something like that. Because as it currently stands, the SEC put up a letter to not have this deposition pull through, and Ripple didn't really respond to anything whatsoever. We've been plotting up theories here, for example, how stupid the whole argument is and how critical this deposition could be, but in the end of things, that's all just us speculating. We haven't gotten any official response from Ripple nor the judge, and so a lot of people are wondering whether or not tomorrow is going to be the day. Now, one thing I should tell you quickly is that I'm not sure if we will actually know whether or not he's going to be deposed until a lot later. Why? Well, if the judge doesn't make a public decision, which she most likely will, we will not know, because these depositions, even though they will all attend, the information that's gathered itself might not become available to us until summary judgment, if at all ever. We're not sure if we're going to get this type of stuff, if we're going to see it. Of course, Ripple's side, the judges and lawyers and everything are going to be seeing it. It might even be recorded, but whether or not it will actually come to the public is still to be seen. I'm not exactly sure if it's always the case, though. I try to read myself into it a little bit, but there's also a difference between depositions of papers and deposition of people. So I'm just not qualified enough to give you guys that answer, but maybe it's something to look forward to, that we get some more info from maybe any party. I'm not exactly sure if we should ask them or something like that, but it's something to think about, right? That maybe we're not even going to see the questions being answered until summary judgment, if at all. But I am excited to get some sort of update, and it's a very good chance today or tomorrow we'll see another update from Ripple's side. Here was actually one thing from James Phelan that I wanted to share with you guys that I didn't do before. What a convoluted and contradictory motion to quash. First, Hinman gives a pass to Ethereum in what is arguably the most impactful speech on digital currencies at the time, as well as Hinman's career at the SEC. This is referring to his 2018, I have it open here as well, his 2018 speech about Bitcoin and mostly actually Ethereum, and his clarification of them and basically the stance of the SEC. It's not officially the SEC. He starts by saying it's only his own opinion, but it's this little 2018 paper that every other SEC official in speech, like for example Jay Clayton, and every crypto company looked at to kind of build a good kind of basis for what crypto really are, or basically what is allowed and what is not allowed. He later on, however, said that this does not really show what the SEC thinks, nor has it got any relevance to the real world. So it's really crazy, and that's again what he kind of points towards. Second, the SEC says Hinman held a position of critical importance to the SEC's operations within their motion. Third, the SEC then says Director Hinman has no unique first-hand knowledge of market participants. So, contradictory. Understanding as to the regulatory status of XRP offers and sales, he didn't have any of that knowledge. Fourth, the SEC shows its weakness, saying the court should quash the subpoena without prejudice until after Judge Torres' ruling on the SEC's motion to strike Ripple's fair notice defense. And finally, Hinman finishes it and his credibility off with the declaration that, quote, "To the best of my knowledge, the Commission had not taken at the time, and still not has taken, any position or expressed a view as to whether offers and sales of Ethereum constituted offers and sales of securities," which basically means the verdict we have right now on Ethereum and Bitcoin is made out of thin air because it's not official, which is strange. He expects that Ripple and the individual defendants are going to absolutely shred this in their response to the SEC's motion, which wouldn't be strange if that came out today because this is supposed to come out tomorrow. So I'm not sure. It doesn't really say anything about dates being shoved around. If it did, I most likely missed it. Maybe they usually give, like, let's say 5 business days or so to respond, but that would move everything further, which is also kind of odd. So not exactly sure about that, but you'll see once something comes out. I'll make an update on it. All right, quickly talking about the price, by the way. A lot of you guys were saying, oh, the price has done really amazing today. It's looking really, really good. And I partially covered it in my previous video, but let me quickly come back to it saying, guys, the price right now is still moving akin to Bitcoin, even though it's performing a little bit better. It's not moving out of proportion. It's not moving too insanely crazy right now. There's nothing of that big of a, noticeable thing. And one thing you should also understand is that the price can quickly turn around. Even though we are inherently still bullish and buying these dips, make sure you understand that this is by no means XRP breaking the barrier, XRP going crazy. It's most likely just either a couple of big guys buying the dip or some institutions manipulating it so that the price stays within this range so they can keep buying the dip, selling the top, buying the dip, selling the top, or something along those lines. But it's just not only XRP, it's most cryptos right now. The only thing relevant is that XRP dipped further and so has more to gain back, which you can see with Bitcoin. It didn't have this, basically this big red candle close right here that's lower than our previous 17th of May, or actually 23rd of May, if I believe, dip. That's, I guess, the only big part to understand. Then moving over into some crypto news generally, ARK. ARK Invest defies the odds and files for a Bitcoin ETF. I saw a lot of people post about ARK filing for a Bitcoin ETF. Not exactly sure, to be honest with you, why it's defying the odds. It's just an attempt. We don't know if it will actually pull through. It's an attempt, another ETF attempt, and let's see. Then what's happening with Ripple's XRP this weekend? Well, the weekend is already over, and I find it sometimes fun to kind of read through these articles and see what they expected for the weekend. But one thing it says right here is if this level breaks down, we could very well see XRP go as low as 33 cents. A turnaround in the sentiment would require XRP to overcome 67 cents and test a pivot at 80. Let's actually see if that pulls through, because right now we have gotten very close to 75 cents already, kind of a psychological barrier. Let's see if we actually touch 80, and this guy was actually correct. Then, stocks diverge as traders weigh recovery. I don't want to read that last little part. Point being right here, we've been talking for the last couple of days about a big crash in the traditional markets. One thing you should understand is that crypto should, theoretically speaking, have an inverse correlation with the crypto or with the stock market, on the basis that stocks are, if you think about freaking banks and just normal stocks, they're usually going properly if the normal financial system is doing good and, the quote-unquote norm is proper. However, crypto is actually exactly the opposite of that. If the banks do bad, crypto should do good, right? XRP, again, can have a little bit of a better correlation to stocks, theoretically speaking, because of its utility in the real world already. And something I explained yesterday, Bitcoin is meant to disrupt. XRP/Ripple is meant to work with, still disrupting, but from a lesser destructive perspective. Just keeping the current infrastructure like the XRP ledger was designed for and working with it, instead of making and building a completely new infrastructure to just replace the current system. From that perspective on forward, the correlations for XRP are a lot more positive, as it could do good if the financial system is being broken down or the stock market crashes, and it could do good if the stock market actually goes up, because it has kind of a part in both worlds. Bitcoin, theoretically speaking, should only do good if stocks do bad, because again, it's kind of the anti-bet, the store of value for the traditional system. But you can also see the other way around, where it's like if people get afraid of their stocks, and the more that crypto companies go public, for example, the more this line will be crumbled. The more that people are afraid of stocks, the more they're just afraid of investing. They would rather save their money, keep it in the dollar, and so they'll also sell their Bitcoin. It's a difficult story, and it's not a real answer as of yet. Ripple's XRP offers signs of bullish momentum building up soon. Also pretty damn interesting if you were to ask me. There's just a lot of bullish momentum, bullish narrative if you ask the people. It's just bearish though if you look at the major headlines of news and just the fear being brought into you. But I've told you guys for the last couple of days, there's no real reason why these prices should be down. Then, documenting Bitcoin posted that China's $1 trillion mistake was Bitcoin miners now being shipped away. Pretty key part of this is that there's now so much money being taken away from China to other areas. The US was afraid of China becoming a really big superpower, and it's funny, Because in some cases, you think, like, what if the U.S. had something to do with all of this energy FUD that's now making it so that China had to do something about it? Because, well, the U.S. is the biggest benefactor of all of this movement. Partially, it's from the east to the west, so from China to just America, because we saw some companies being moved over there. Partially, it's also from the east to other places in the east, from China, for example, to Kazakhstan, as, again, they're moving away to make sure they can keep operating. One fun fact to kind of come back to the lawsuit here, it's been freaking 5 months since XRP trading was halted on most platforms in the US. Time freaking flies, it really does, man. I mean, I might have to make a video here on how to buy XRP. Hopefully I can make an update on that soon, where you can buy XRP on multiple exchanges again. I did make an update like 3 months ago or so, but I might have to make another one, which I will do maybe later today. And why is this actually fantastic news for Bitcoin? It just actually talks here about the largest infrastructure displacement in modern history is taking place. Roughly 45% of the Bitcoin mining industry is relocating continents. Does this affect users? No. Blocks may take an extra minute to be mined temporarily. Other than that, Bitcoin is completely unaffected. It's, however, a really big shift and it's really crazy. The hash rate of Bitcoin began to slowly rise, and some Chinese miners began mining and landing in Kazakhstan and North America, but it is expected that it will be difficult to return to 130 E-hashes in half a year unless China's policy is loosened. And then Deutsche Börse Group acquires majority stake in Crypto Finance AG. International exchange organization Deutsche Börse Group aims to expand its crypto-focused services for institutional clients. In short, Deutsche Börse Group will acquire a 2/3 majority stake in Crypto Finance AG, and the investment is a moderate 3-digit Swiss franc million range. So a pretty good deal, pretty big deal. We saw the Crypto Finance Group already make a couple of headways in the crypto realm a little bit earlier, and I think this is pretty nice to see. What will we see from all of this? I'm not sure, but the company, the Deutsche Börse Group, investing in that is a good expansion for crypto, is my own personal thought. And I can really come back to this little infographic from earlier where we actually saw that out of 100 big hedge funds, 95% of them said they'll be into crypto in 5 years and they'll keep expanding their position. Is the truth, guys. Crypto will be going mainstream and more normal companies, normal hedge funds will be buying it as time goes on. It is just a fact.